Andrew, John, Connor, Kincaid and South Tunis, Philly Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, 7 a.m. here on Kincaid and South Tunis, 97.5 The Fanatic. Sixers part ways with Morey as the president of basketball operations. We're reacting with you, 610-632-0975. Your overall reaction. What's the first order of business for the new president of basketball operations? Your thoughts on the Sixers retaining Nick Nurse? I don't feel the same anger as a lot of people because I don't know what else you would have done if you were in Nick Nurse's position. And then the Phillies discussion that we threw out there. Kyle Schwarber continues to rake, continues to hit home runs. 17th home run yesterday, 5 straight games with a home run, 6 in his last 5. And he's on pace to hit over 500 home runs. Are you enjoying the Kyle Schwarber race to 500 despite all the angst around the Phillies? You could text in, call in 610-632-0975. Now, Johnny, we have a poll today. Obviously, thanks to Dr. Avedon Appel and Iron Mountain Men's Health, it's always strong in the morning. Sean Rodman, who's in for Connor today. What do we got this morning?
Today's Twitter poll, what should be the first order of business for the new Sixers regime? In first place, attempt to trade Embiid at 71%. In second place, attempt to trade Paul George at 23%. And run it back one more time at 6%.
I'm glad that's only 6% because nobody should say run it back one more time. We did ask Monday morning, did that Boston series do anything for people moving forward? I wonder if that's the 6%.
It did something for us at the time.
No, I'm saying retain the roster.
No.
Like that couldn't have that did nothing for me ultimately because you got swept and embarrassed the next round against the Knicks. But maybe there are some people that think, oh, this could be the making of something. We had Adam Aronson on. He said that organization will have to make the decision what was more real, games 5, 6, and 7, or the other 90-plus games. Spoiler alert, the other 90-plus games. You can't take a 3-game sample size and say, this is what it could be.
How did you fall behind 3-1? Right. Now, part of that was Embiid missing 3 games.
And then what happens in the next round?
Which is, by the way, no fault of his.
Right, but then what happens in the next round? He he played game 1. Kind of, and then game 2 he's hurt, and that's the story.
And that's the story.
So the majority of people saying trade Embiid. That's the smartest answer because he's got the most amount of years left on the contract.
Do you think the negativity on Embiid is as high as it's ever been?
Yes.
Rodman, you too?
Probably.
Because I think it's as high as it's ever been.
And I also don't know if it's negativity like I hate the guy. I think it's just exhaustion.
No, yeah, I don't think it's
It's hit me.
First of all,
all people.
When it hit you, that's where I knew that it was a problem. Because that's when it hit you. And I'm not mocking you with that. I'm saying is that when you have somebody that is your favorite player, somebody that you really, really focus on, and there's a lot of reasons that he became your favorite player.
Oh, yeah.
And then you sort of go, yeah, it's time. That tells me,
yeah, we've reached that point.
That tells me that if you are coming to the party, that's a problem.
Question is whether or not they can do it, and that's a whole other discussion. Now, Bill Simmons, who has his podcast on The Ringer, and I know Bill Simmons is
a Celtics bootlicker.
Well, yeah, and he's a walking meme for a lot of people.
He's a Celtics bootlicker.
A lot of people listen to his podcast more so for the humor of it, and he's not trying to be funny. It's more so just people kind of laugh at Bill Simmons. But Bill Simmons posed an interesting question on his podcast yesterday. He did the emergency episode. Daryl Morey gets fired. And I think the question inside this clip is very interesting to discuss.
When I look at the job that he did in Philly, which was really up and down, like some really big hits and some misses too. I guess my question is, are they in a better or worse place than when he took over? Because he was able to get them out of the Ben Simmons thing. He was able to trade Harden and get some pretty decent picks from the Clippers back. I mean, I think one of them's unprotected. VJ Edgecombe, they pulled that off where they now have Maxey and Edgecombe as like the centerpiece for what they're doing. So to me, this isn't like, oh my God, this guy our team up. But at the same time, I wasn't surprised at all. So why wasn't I surprised?
I don't think it's like a disgraceful firing. I just think this thing, they needed to refresh it. I think Daryl will get another job.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if I had to hang it on something, Bill, I would say those 2 contracts to Paul George and Joel Embiid, that's what got it done.
So first off, forgive me, I don't know who the co-host is. That's what got him fired, right? Like, let's face it. The Paul George and Joel Embiid contracts it's, again, he cleaned up a mess and then created a monster mess of its own. So
I've heard from people, too, that before some reports that, well, don't blame him because he didn't sign the Joel Embiid extension. And yesterday, Shams and both Shams and Windy both made it seem like their sources tell them, yes, he was a driving force behind the Embiid extension. So I've heard different things locally.
Sure.
That tend to, but when Shams and Windy both say they've heard that sort of tells me they're hearing it right.
And look, I'm not saying it made sense because it didn't make sense, but I'm guessing what Morey was thinking. All right, I have Embiid, Maxey, George, all the same timeline, pretty much, except for like 1 year difference.
I think, now this might be me, so you tell me if you think it's just a little bit of anti-Embiid bias. I took it as, hearing them talk about it yesterday on NBA Live, I took it as they didn't want to risk Embiid being bitch boy. That these guys had more guaranteed money, more contract than he did.
Well, that same offseason, I don't look at it that way.
So I know that's how I looked at it yesterday when I heard that, is that, so Paul George is new here and he's got all this guaranteed money that runs longer than me. Maxey's got more money that now runs longer than me.
I don't look at it the money, but I see it as, remember, I think it was that offseason where he did that. There wasn't supposed to be video where he sat down and talked with people and he said, I want to win. What's next for Joel Embiid? And it's, I want to win a championship, whether it's here or somewhere else. So maybe that's
he does it's the Joel Embiid playbook. Every single offseason, he pulls out the crap, and he did it again, of the, whether
I'm here or somewhere else.
I don't know where I'll be.
Now,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Now, the question that's interesting that Bill Simmons, posed there during that clip earlier on is, are the Sixers in a better spot right now post Daryl Morey than they were when he first got here? And that's why the revisionist history conversation is always one of my favorite, because Daryl Morey did make some really big moves when he first got here. Like, that Al Horford contract was a disaster. And
I still can't. That was sorcery to me.
Like, think about the team when he got here. Al Horford, Ben Simmons literally did not want to be here. He didn't give Tobias Harris the max contract, right? Like, there were some,
and that was more of an emergency that was perpetuated by the last, and that was the last owner, the last group,
right?
It had nothing to do with him.
The Sixers franchise looked to be in a pretty bad place. So, leaving the Sixers now, they did not have a first-round pick in this upcoming NBA draft. Now they do. Now, of course, that was because they traded Jared McCain, and that's a discussion point within its own right. The unprotected pick from the Clippers is a big one. And that's one that they can either use their own, or whenever some of these contracts get moved, either Embiid or George or both, you can use that first-round pick that's unprotected to get a proven star in the NBA.
The minute, remember what was being talked about yesterday? This thing keeps falling off on my mic on Middays with Marks. The minute that someone says to me, trade the Clippers pick, I'm done.
You're out.
I'm hanging up. The Clippers are headed towards being a really bad organization, and I think they're already sort of there. The minute that someone says, well, my plan would be trade that number one pick from the Clippers for an established star.
Well,
hang up.
I mean, if it's a 27-year-old established star.
Hang up. I'm hanging up. The Clippers are set to be, when that pick happens, they look like they could be a top 3 bad team.
Could be.
Like, now the rules change for the lottery, by the way. And does that change their opinion?
Maybe.
They've made it less palpable.
It could.
Put it that way.
It could. So it's interesting. Like, are the Sixers in a better spot now?
No, they are not.
It's hard to ignore Embiid and George's contract because those are the two glaring issues.
Well, let's look at it this way. What are the building blocks right now?
You have Edgecombe and Maxey.
So with the Edgecombe and Maxey, where they're at in their careers, is that a better building block than what Daryl had when he took over?
Oh, absolutely, because both those guys weren't here.
Okay, so the answer then is yes.
And you have more picks to use.
So the answer is yes, right?
But the problem is you have these two glaring contracts. if the new president of basketball operations can move off of one of the two,
Correct.
George or Embiid this offseason,
then
the outlook's a lot different.
And then it would say to you, okay, so let's say the new basketball operations, and this is where my mind went last night, and I said to myself, stop waffling, John, because you were somebody yesterday telling Connor, I don't trust Daryl Morey. But if let's say that Paul George's contract is something that can be moved, does that mean that Daryl Morey could have done that this offseason and he got moved to?
I mean,
like,
no,
because I'm the one asking this, and I'm the one saying yesterday to Connor, I don't trust the guy anymore. They got to move on.
No, I don't applaud Daryl Morey for saying, hey, great job signing this disastrous contract to trade him. You know what I mean? Like, the reason why you're trading him is because the contract's bad, and who signed him to that bad contract? It was Daryl Morey. So I don't think that should be enough for him to keep his job, the idea of potentially moving on from George.
First time in my business life when I went into management. I had a boss, and he said to me, when I used to have to manage a budget and do things and everything, he'd say, look, John, when you make a mistake, just correct it. Like, get on with it and correct it. So you're going to make mistakes.
We also don't know if he wanted to correct that mistake.
That's the issue.
Daryl Morey may have said, look at, you saw the vision, games 5, 6, and 7. You saw what it can be. I promise you, Josh, that I can make this work. Give me another offseason where I'll get a backup guard that we've been looking for a decade, a backup big that we've been looking for a decade, a sniper that can hit threes consistently off the bench. And then you start sitting there going, well, then how come you haven't figured these out over the last half a decade?
Is he going to drag this down that path? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And maybe that's what led to the
Because last night I'm thinking that, and I'm going, okay, you're waffling, dude. You are really waffling. You were the one saying this morning the guy's got to go, and then...
I think the move needed to happen, period.
It seems like it did.
Now, one potential Embiid trade that was floated out there yesterday from Jake Fisher. John, this is like Andrew Salchunas' life.
What do you mean?
So I love Joel Embiid. You know that.
I know you do.
And it has pained me to reach to this point.
You got there, though.
The one trade that's being talked about
is what?
Is trading Embiid to Sacramento for a fellow countryman.
Oh.
Domantas Sabonis.
Well, then, the Sacramento Kings, and one of the things, and Shaquille's partial owner of that team.
Yeah,
is they do well. They do well at the gate. Like they're a pretty good team.
2 years ago when they had that season and the light the beam and everybody was fired. Last year sucked.
No, but they do in the market because they're the only thing in town.
Right,
they're still a big deal. Joel Embiid would be a big deal there.
He would be.
He'd be a big deal there.
And then you have the Lithuanian Philadelphia community getting season tickets for Sabonis.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I have seen them. I've seen them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that would. I don't know if that would happen.
It's just like my dream. I go on from the guy that I love to a countryman. It'd be fantastic. Now there was one other clip from the Bill Simmons podcast that I'll play for you, and then we'll check the Davis Honda text line here. And I do know for a fact, because I do listen occasionally, that he did, like, this is true. He's not lying in this clip. He's not doing revisionist history. But in fairness, because you and I both like to be as fair as possible.
We try to be. Well, let's put it this way: is we don't hide whatever our personal bias is, but we try to make sure that both sides of the story are told on this show.
Here is Bill Simmons talking about what he would have done a couple of years ago that I think is a freaking impossible scenario that would have played out.
I said this at the time. The move was to trade Embiid before the Knicks got Towns, when the Knicks were clearly desperately trying to, make that all these picks that made an impact. And they had a real relationship with Embiid. They had Worldwide West and they had Leon Rose, who were like, those are Embiid's guys. Leon Rose that was his agency, and I think out of anyone, they valued him the most. And you just had Embiid coming off these 2 seasons where he played the most games he'd ever played. His stock was never going to be higher. The history of centers and guys that size is usually going to start doing this. And I just think he could have gotten a fucking mother load from Philly. Now, would the fans have been happy about it? I don't know. But I think in retrospect, hard to say, but in retrospect, the move is like, I am selling high, not on Jared McCain, but on Joel Embiid right now.
I don't think they could have traded him after his MVP season. He wins MVP. Things were actually looking pretty good. Then the Harden saga happens. Daryl Morey's a liar. But I feel like that's an impossible scenario. I'm not even saying sell to your fan base.
I don't, though. I don't think that was an impossible scenario. But then again, though, I'm coming at it from so that's not fair. I'm coming at it from my personal, I was done with the Embiid story multiple years ago. So to me, that sounds completely logical. And at the time, I talked about it on these airwaves that I would have moved him. Man. And the minute he started with right after the MVP season, remember, it was after the MVP season, he was trying to do this. He was trying to work a deal. It's the only reason why you say, well, whether it's here or whether it's somewhere else, that's the only reason. He was trying to orchestrate something. I would have accommodated. I would have given him exactly what he wanted. Okay, Joel, go. Here's a door. Walk through it. Walk through it.
After the MVP season.
And again, the MVP season did a lot for you. That does nothing for me.
I got you.
And you know what? It does nothing for me now.
Well, remember, I wanted to keep Harden.
And by the way,
they're 1 win away. They're 5 minutes away from beating the Boston Celtics and breaking the streak going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, no, they were 60. Really, they were 53 minutes away because then they had a Game 7 and
they just didn't. Yeah.
Neither one of them showed up. Neither one of them. Tail between their legs in Boston Garden on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
How about disasters?
I know.
Just disastrous.
All right, what do we got on the text line? Davis Honda text line. Check out Davis Honda in Burlington. They're fantastic. Sean Rodman in for Connor today. What
What's
do we
up,
got
Sean?
on the text line? Is it better than the last one?
Yes. This one is another trade idea for you with Embiid. This person's saying, I'm telling you the trade is possible after watching the Wolves series. Embiid and Paul George for Randall and Gobert to help against Wemby. I don't know if the Sixers would do that, but
Embiid and Paul George, no one could take that as a contract.
You're not doing it.
They can't. No team could handle that, contract-wise.
Well, no, the Minnesota Timberwolves. What he's saying is basically swap the two, but
they can't do that though. I don't even think that works financially. Does it?
Contract-wise, it would be pretty close.
Gobert's got a max. I don't know what Randall's contract is.
Yeah, I don't know if does Randall have?
You'd probably have to throw in one or two more contracts.
Yeah,
to get there.
The answer is that's not happening. Like they're not. There's no way the Sixers and T-Wolves are working on a deal where it's
well. Wait a minute here though. The T-Wolves have gone to the conference finals the last 2 years.
Yes,
they are most likely going to miss the conference finals this year. We believe, even if it's in 6 or 7, that they'll lose.
They're playing really well this series, but yes,
we also believe that the San Antonio Spurs are not going to be a one-hit wonder.
Correct.
They're going to be okay.
Neither are the Thunder.
I could absolutely see them at least being entertained, but not by the health with those two guys. I don't see that they'd say, yeah, health-wise, I'm betting on it.
By the way,
it's intriguing, though.
The Timberwolves, I just did the NBA trade machine. Timberwolves are over the luxury tax threshold with this trade, and the incoming aggregate
I didn't
salaries exceeded what's allowed. So the Timberwolves would have to move more players.
I remember that I looked at that. I looked at something like that before because somebody wrote that. Somebody wrote something like that before at, like crazy trade things, and that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it's,
That's interesting, though. No, I like the thought process, though.
No, look, yeah. I don't
it's
think
okay to get crazy. There's no way the Sixers are getting out from under Embiid and George in the same offseason. But if you get out from under one of them, there's progress. Again, you open up the logjam. That's it. You gotta show me progress.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I would be shocked if both are moved. I would not be shocked if one is moved, and I believe Paul George is the more likely one. And that's not me saying I want Embiid here. I would just be surprised if they're able to move off of both of those contracts.
Do you think the fan base overall would sort of be more excited as far as thinking that things could be different?
Our pulse is now it's dropped, but 60% want to attempt to trade Embiid first.
I think this fan base would be more intrigued and more excited if Embiid was moved.
Yeah.
I think there'd be more of a breath of fresh air. Let's get on with it.
That's the big one, the breath of fresh air.
If they moved Embiid.
He's been here for a long time.
And they're tired of the crap. They're tired of it. Tired of the act. I'm tired of it. Completely.
Joel Embiid got drafted in 2014.
It's incredible. And he still hasn't understood. He still doesn't understand what it takes to be a professional.
Yeah, Joel.
And that bothers me.
You know that Joel Embiid's tenure at the Sixers has mirrored my tenure here at the Fanatic?
No, it hasn't, because you show up for work. You actually show up for work. And by the way, you're a great teammate.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. No, I'm just talking about the amount of years.
No. I'm saying, no, I do not remember Rodman. Have we ever had to have a meeting with management to complain about Andrew and his work ethic? And no,
Not
we
to
don't
my
do
knowledge.
that. No. Like Connor and Rodman and Austin and I, we don't have to go to management and complain about you. Yeah. So you see, because you actually know how to.
You guys just drink a lot at
No,
night,
you know how to
all.
conduct yourself like a professional, unlike him. And he still never learns.
Coming up next, Sixers Phillies on the table. Phillies, are you enjoying the race for 500 for Kyle Schwarber despite all the angst? But we have another schedule leak. This time, actually, a real leak.
Yep.
Yesterday was an announcement.
Well, now we know 3 weeks.
Well, yes.
We know 3.
John Kincaid is a bright man. Are the Eagles going abroad? Do you have to get your passport renewed? We'll talk about it next here on Kincaid and Salchunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincaid and Salchunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Coming up at 10, Middays with Marks. Now more of Kincaid and Salchunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, did we get another schedule leak for the Philadelphia Eagles? We discussed that here in a minute or two. But John Kincaid with the I have a question.
Yeah, real quick question for you. Vegas Golden Knights win last night in overtime. They were now 1 win away from their conference championship in the West. The hiring of John Tortorella to turn that team, which was in a death spiral, is pretty amazing. The Carter Hart story, there's one of the guys who covers the Knights is just like, it has been a complete non-story in Vegas. Mm-hmm. Complete non-story, him coming back to the NHL. It's been a non-story in the NHL. It's been a non-story in Vegas. Do you? I know we say he couldn't come back here.
Yeah.
Could he have not? When you look at how it's been a non-story, a complete non-story. Could he have come back? I'm just wondering.
I really don't think so.
I don't think he could have either, just PR-wise, but it has not been. There's no outrage. There's no protest from women's groups. There's no the NHL taking a black eye. There's no nothing on it. And I did not expect that, by the way.
Which, by the way, I think that's wrong.
I do too. I do
honest.
too. I do not. I was not in support of it.
Yeah.
But I guess I thought the public reaction to him coming back was going to be different. Sure. It has not been.
It also could have been both sides wanted to split because, remember, they immediately suspended him. Like the Flyers
Well, they
did
had
something.
to. They had to, though.
Yeah.
They did. Every single player that was involved in the case
Right.
that was an NHL player. So the Flyers had to do what they did. But I think both sides need a change of scenery, but I think the assumption was they had to do it. It's surprising to me that in the era we live in today, that it's a complete non-story.
It is crazy.
That surprises me.
No, that's my biggest.
Carter
issue
Hart.
with it.
Carter Hart has come back to work, and it is a complete non-story.
They just let it go.
There you go.
All right. Potential schedule leak yesterday. So 2 days ago, we know that the Philadelphia Eagles will be playing in Dallas on Thanksgiving. By the way, I saw Ray Dunn anti-Thanksgiving Eagles game, and they ran a poll on middays, and like 40% also anti-Eagles. Not anti-football. It's what I think it was our man JM on our YouTube chat saying, look, I get invested for Eagles games. I can't be so locked in when Thanksgiving's also happening.
Well, Ray is anti-sports on holidays.
Yes, he is.
So he's anti-sports on it to begin with. But the idea that the Eagles are on, I think the Eagles being at 4:30 makes it a more of a family holiday.
Absolutely.
I think it makes it more of a family event. But I found out yesterday that and a couple people emailing me was like, look, your family's different than our family.
I told you, growing up, I had to stay at the table until my grandparents were done eating. And you know how grandparents may be slower than everybody else. And I had to wait for my grandmom, God rest her soul, to finish the gizzard. And then I could finally leave the table.
I got 3 emails from people saying the way that my family does desserts is crazy. That we do desserts a break of like an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, we keep going, man.
You go right into desserts?
Party doesn't stop.
See, I think that's like crazy town.
Party
to
doesn't
me.
stop, man. Party
that is
keeps
crazy.
Going. So yesterday, it's not official.
It's real.
I agree because Philly sports.
If Adam Schefter's put it out, it's real.
Oh, did he? Okay, I didn't see the Schefter.
It's real.
I saw the Philly Sports Trips post, which I would imagine Vince has an idea of, planning, and
he's the official.
And by the way, he and I have been talking about London for like months now, so like I'm not shocked. But it looks like the Eagles will be playing in London.
Yeah, I trust Schefter knows what he's talking.
Week 5 against the Jags,
which I think is an advantage. I'd rather play the Jags on a neutral field than play the Jags in potentially 95
I was about
degree
to say,
heat.
you escape. Look, just because they're not playing Tampa this year doesn't mean they escaped totally the Florida October heat. But in this case, they do.
That can be nasty. I spent the last Saturday in October in Jacksonville for 2 decades for the Georgia-Florida game. And it can be 90-something degrees and hot.
Yeah.
And sweaty and stanky in Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a pit. It's a hole. And sorry about that, Cousin Matt. It's a pit. And to play there, it could be 95 degrees. You got a break there.
Yeah.
That's a break.
And you were saying that you believe it's technically
it's guaranteed
2
the bye
weeks.
week. Well, it's the bye week because you're going to get the bye week after because when you travel to London, you get the bye week after.
So week 6 bye, it looks
so
like.
It'll be week 6 bye, which I think sort of sucks. Sort of sucks. Because you're going to play 11 games after that.
Yeah, and we'll have the conversations
you're gonna play
of whether or not they should rest the starters in week 18.
No, you're going to play. In fact, you're going to play 12 games after it. So you're going to play 5 games, then you're going to have a bye, then you're going to play 12 games. But
just get the 1 seed.
The earlier game that you pointed out is the first one you pointed out is the important one. You're going to get a bye week, another mini bye, because you play the Cowboys
on Thanksgiving.
So you get that extra bye weekend there.
And what they've been doing recently, they'll play Thursday.
Sometimes they've done that, but whatever happens there, you're still getting that extra weekend.
Right.
You're still going to eventually.
You're going to get 10 days rest eventually.
You're going to get 10 days rest. So you're getting an extra bye week later in the season. So it pays off. Playing the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, you get a mini bye, pays off. So that's I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Bye week after week 5, so week 6 bye, and then a bye to begin December. That's not bad.
Yeah. There you go. Eagles, another schedule leak. They will be playing in London week 5 against the Jags. We know week 12 is the game in Dallas on Thanksgiving. And it all sets up tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is scheduled release night. I'm sure there will be at least one more that pops up. Like Jeff McClain's usually got one game.
Yeah, they'll get it. They'll get their little releases. And Cousin Matt already checking in for the London trip. 700 round trip from Newark, 900 round trip from Philly. If you're looking this morning.
All right.
So I don't think that's bad at all.
No. And then you check out phillysportstrips.com for the rest. Let's go to Davey in Ben Salem. What's up, Dave?
Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, John. How you guys doing today?
Good, buddy.
I'm doing good. Thanks for getting me on, man. So I have hope. I have hope again that maybe our Phillies are going to give us another great summer. They're getting back in the race. The goal, obviously, is just to get to 500, and they're so close to getting there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, they're 2 under now, and seeing Zach Wheeler look like vintage Wheeler yesterday,
nice.
That is a sign that we needed to see because the inconsistencies from Luzardo so far this year, Andrew Painter has not necessarily pitched well at all. Like, you needed another horse. We know what Christopher Sanchez can be. It's been nice to see Nola have back-to-back good outings, but you're not going to rely on Nola much. You needed a second arm. And if Wheeler is vintage Wheeler again, that puts everybody at ease because it sets everybody back. If Luzardo's now your 3, and then you figure out your 4 and 5 as the season progresses.
I definitely agree with that, guys. And I wish Zach Willard could pitch every day, but obviously he cannot. But like you said, everybody has to step up, offense and the pitching. And Brandon Marsh is having a career year. I just hope he can keep this up. I just hope. And I had somebody tell me the other day, well, maybe he should be the leadoff hitter. No, he's not a leadoff hitter.
No.
You got to keep him where he is right now.
He's a guy where I am not messing with where he's batting in the order. I remember, dude, we've had these conversations every single year. Maikel Franco batting 8th. Oh, look at all the home runs. He should bat 4th. And then he bats 4th, and then he gets exposed. Oh, this reliever should pitch in the 9th inning instead of the 8th. Hector Neris. He goes out in the 9th inning, he pees himself. Like, there's guys that are in certain spots of the order, just leave them there.
Leave them be.
I definitely agree, guys.
There you go.
So you guys are the best, man. I'm not going to keep
buddy.
you too long.
You're the man, Davey.
So I love you guys. And Andrew, say hi to Coob. I hope he's doing well, and hope I get to see you at the ballpark this
You're
summer.
The best,
you have a great
Davey.
day.
We'll see you, buddy.
One of the nicest people I've gotten to know over the years.
He got Koopa
working here.
Puck.
Yes, he did, man.
He made sure he waved me down, made sure I got Koopa Puck.
You guys are the best. I love Davey. He's such
He's
a nice
great.
person. Yeah, look, I'm not moving Brandon Marsh at all.
No.
in the order. Like just
Nope.
keep him there.
Nope.
Look, Dave goes, I hope he keeps this up. I don't think Brandon Marsh will finish the season batting 350. There's gonna probably be a slide at some point. But man, even somebody as critical as I am of Brandon Marsh, he deserves all the flowers right now. He's been the most consistent player for the team this year.
If I said to you right now, Brandon Marsh ends the year hitting 285, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it and run with it.
By the way, that would be his best batting average
Correct.
of his career.
I would take it and run with it at the moment. That'd be wonderful. Do it.
Damn right, man.
Let's do it.
All right, coming up next, Sean Rodman is in for Connor Thomas today.
Rodmania.
So we get today's headlines with Sean Rodman here on Kincaid and Sal Tunis, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincaid and Sal Tunis, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. This is Kincaid and Sal Tunis, 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's 7:47 here on Kincaid and Sal Tunis, 97.5 The Fanatic. We will get to today's headlines with Sean Rodman in a moment. Sean in for Connor today. But, Johnny, I was curious. You know, every once in a while when you're on social media, I like to read replies to certain articles and certain opinions to see, all right, where are the people when it comes to this?
All right.
And I mentioned earlier today, I was having more so fun with it because imagine if we go from Joel Embiid to a Lithuanian. Jake Fisher put out the article that one team to keep an eye on with a potential Embiid trade is Sacramento. Sabonis comes here. The money works. He's a max contract player in Sacramento. Sabonis comes here. Embiid goes there.
They would absolutely get more squeeze in that market having Embiid.
So I was reading the replies, and a lot of Sixers fans saying, I want to trade Embiid, but I don't want them to do this.
Why?
don't.
What's the reasoning?
Well, they're not
They
Sabonis
don't think
guys.
that's enough?
Here's my point. We have passed that stage. Like, I don't think we have the right to be picky with an Embiid package at this point.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like 3 years ago, as we played the clip from Bill Simmons earlier today, where Bill Simmons has been pushing the trade Embiid thing since his MVP season. 3 years ago, sure. Like, who wants him? But you don't have that luxury. So when I saw a lot of Sixers fans responding to the Jake Fisher story saying, this is horrible, this would be stupid, I'm not saying it would work. What I'm saying is if you want to move on from Embiid for the sake of moving on from Embiid because you want to just change the mojo up, I don't think we have the right to be picky, dude.
No, there's what do you like? The only way you would have a right to be picky is if you think that you had 5 people sitting there frothing at the mouth to go get Joel Embiid.
And I don't think that's there.
I don't believe it either.
The only teams frothing at the mouth will be teams that want to unload their own bad contracts.
And everybody knows you have to get rid of Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
So it's like you're holding something that everybody knows you have to get rid of or you want to get rid of.
Right. So guys, like, you know, I'm talking to our listeners. I don't know how many people in Jake Fisher's mentions, are listening right now. I don't think we have the right to be picky. Like, you do whatever deal is there.
Yeah, you do. You take what you can get at this point. And more importantly, you can't be me and say, I want to move, and then go, oh, well, yeah, but that move's not good enough.
Right.
You got at some point, you got to rip the Band-Aid off and say, okay, we need to have a move. A move has to be made, and it might not be the perfect move.
Right.
But it's going to be a move.
What is? Like,
there is no
you're not
move.
trading for Sabonis. You're trading for Sabonis' contract, which has 2 years left on it.
Correct.
Whereas Embiid has
You're getting
3.
And then you're sitting on a Sabonis and George, where you go, okay, we have a 2-year window to seeing the daylight of max contract players. And if you can get somebody to potentially bite on George, could you do that?
Possibly.
Could you potentially?
Possibly. All right. We'll continue that conversation later on because I think that's an interesting one that
I do too.
People are now being picky about.
Can't do that.
Trade Embiid, but not for that.
Can't do that.
All right. It's time now for today's headlines with Sean Rodman.
Today's headlines with Sean, no relation to Dennis Rodman.
What's up, Dennis?
All right, today's headlines brought to you by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers, visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. All right, first, we're going to stay in the world of baseball today, but let's start out west with the Giants. I don't have audio necessary for this, but because it's a little hard to explain, but if you've seen the Giants outfielders celebrations at the end of the game.
Sean.
They kind of do a little bit of a pump, I guess, towards each other, if you want to put it in those
three
directions.
of them come together in center field. They put their arms around each other and they hip thrust. Guys being dudes, right? Just bros being guys.
That's bros being.
By the way, I don't know how true it is. I saw John Boy Media say they were told to put a stop to it.
I did see that too.
That's why they came together in a 3.
They bowed yesterday.
I'm going to say you said that's bros
Just
being
guys being dudes.
That's
John.
guys being now guys being dudes of your generation then is far different than guys being dudes in my generation. That's no. You see,
guys being
when you
dudes.
say that, when you hear that expression, so many times I hear that expression. No, that's guys of your generation being dudes.
Do you not hear the sarcasm?
Yeah, exactly.
From me because
I understand. That's really though, but that's your generation speaking.
Yeah.
Those are these guys. So when I hear that, that's just guys being dudes. That's yeah.
Apparently they got put a stop to it. Harrison Bader, trying to bring the fun to San Francisco, I guess.
Yeah, he's bringing something to San Francisco.
Not from me. Not that there's anything wrong with it, John.
No, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
As they would say on Seinfeld.
What we got?
All right, next up, Christopher Sanchez was on MLB Network. Now his translator helped translate this, but they were asking him about Kyle Schwarber and him being red hot. But who would come out and win in a matchup between Sanchez and Kyle Schwarber? And Sanchez replied, "We've got to ask him if he can get a hit off me right now."
Ooh.
Wow.
I like that.
I like
Don't
that.
you like that?
Yeah, no, I think
Hey, you like that?
I like that.
I like that. Like that. Little feistiness.
Yeah, little feistiness.
I'll
I
take
like that.
I'll take that from Christopher Sanchez.
And by the way, Christopher Sanchez is loosened up. Did you see him last night? Did you watch the early part of the game? I was
watching, but
Okay, he's watching the game last night in the dugout. Christopher Sanchez has a large Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee.
Okay.
I've never seen that before in my life.
Well, they're big Dunkin' up there.
It is.
In Boston.
There's a Dunkin' on every corner. But he's in the dugout on the railing drinking, as he's watching the game, a large Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Christopher Sanchez has become so relaxed as a major leaguer.
Well,
I love
he got
seeing
to hang out with Ranger Suarez for a few years.
I love seeing it because he's a charming guy, by the way. Really charming
his career,
person.
we talked about this before. His career is unbelievable. Like, it's actually
he's coming along
such
nicely.
an incredible story. I mean, you make the trade, you trade Curtis Mead to get Christopher Sanchez. And remember, there was confusion. Is Sanchez a long reliever, starter, setup guy?
He was going to be the flex guy. Go bullpen to fifth starter, bullpen.
The organization at one point valued Bailey Falter more than Christopher Sanchez. And then one of very few things I will give Dave Dombrowski credit for, he saw something and locked him up pretty quick. And I think
He
it
did.
was right by the Phillies, good on the Phillies for reworking the contract this past offseason. They saw something before a lot of people did, and I'll give them credit for that one. All right, what else?
All right. Lastly, let's head up to New York versus the Orioles. And I don't know if you saw this play. A ball was hit to third base, and the Yankees third baseman Mick Mahone went to go turn 2, and, well, here it is.
Oh, what a play by McMahon. Nobody at second covering, and everybody's safe. He threw to second to get the force. There was nobody there.
Now, the ball was caught, but the second
Right.
baseman was at the edge of the grass, basically, and couldn't get over. I haven't seen anything like that in quite some time.
I have not either.
It's brain farts, right? Like, you're so... The 5-4-3 double play, look, he's playing the hot corner. So that's instinct. That's not... You don't look to see if your second baseman's there. You have to rely on your second baseman to be there. So I guess more blame on the second baseman than anybody. What did you call him?
I think I said Mick Mahone, but I meant to say McMahon. I said the wrong name because I looked down to the spelling, and that's how it's kind of spelled. But I know it's McMahon, too. It's more so when I looked down, I read the...
There you go.
McCone. That was awesome. All right, coming up next. It's a Wednesday. My God, I forgot to mention all show. Shame on me. Scott's going to have me fired. Adam Schefter joins us at 8:05.
We're gonna have a meeting. We're gonna have a meeting about you afterwards, like the Sixers have to have about Embiid.
The Sixers with the Daryl Morey firing yesterday has completely taken over the show, as you can imagine. We have Adam Schefter. It's a Wednesday, so Wednesday was Shefty. He joins us coming up next. Will there be more leaks, schedule leaks, that we can try to figure out with Adam Schefter? And John, you know what's interesting? The last couple of years, you have asked him, who's the team to keep an eye on?
Yep.
He gave us the Commanders 2 years ago. He gave us the Patriots last year. I wonder if he's seeing now another team, because he's hit
He does well with it.
NFC title game and Super Bowl
Usually
appearance.
he waits till training camp.
Right.
But he may have an idea for us.
So we'll talk to Shefty coming up next. It is Kincaid and Sal Tunis, 97.5 The Fanatic.